The Vice President of the United States of America, Kamala Harris, touched down in Cape Coast at around 3 p.m. on Tuesday to a rousing welcome and was later received by the Ogwamanhene Osaberema Kwisata II and some other important dignitaries within the region. Osaberema Kwisata II, while addressing the Vice President of the U.S., Kamala Harris, and her delegation, indicated that there is a need for her to use her high office to support the building of a slave museum where artifacts from the slave trade will be kept to help tell the story of the transatlantic slave trade proper. Osaberema Kwisata II indicated that the project, when constructed, will be the legacy project of the Vice President of the United States.
We want you to organize a reciprocal visit to the United States where, we are talking, but we want this talk to be turned into something more concrete. That's why we are asking for a reciprocal visit to concretize what we are talking about so that Cape Coast will also be strong. Again, just across the road from here, there is a plan to build a slavery museum. And we want you to be part of that museum. This will tell the whole story of the African transatlantic slavery trade. And if that is done, and the time comes for cutting the ribbon to declare it open, we will invite you to come and do that. At least that will be your legacy project for the whole of Africa. I'm not going to speak much, but we appreciate you. We appreciate your visit. And this will be a living memory in our minds throughout ages. Enjoy yourself in Cape Coast. And on your agenda, we want you to at least appoint a liaison officer to connect with us so that maybe next month, next 2 months, this month you will not be, but next 2 months we will be preparing to come and pay this reciprocal visit to concretize matters.
Central Regional Minister Marigold Asan, who chaired the occasion, believes the visit of the Vice President should be an avenue for the U.S. government to invest $1 million in education and youth programming in Africa over a period of 2 years, adding that government's free SHS policy has in diverse ways opened up access to children in deprived communities to have access to education.
Her Excellency, coincidentally, the divine in you, which led you to choose Cape Coast to visit Ghana's tourism and educational hub. That's where you are now. It is not by chance, because we believe your visit will also mark the beginning of further engagement on how our country is going to work together. We could tap into your government's push to invest $1 million in education and youth programming in Africa within the next 2 years. Our flagship program, Free High School Education, since its inception, has opened up access to children in disadvantaged or needy homes across the country. Coupled with a commitment to strengthening and promoting educational interest in science, technology, engineering, and mathematics, we believe support through the proposed investment in Africa will strengthen us to prepare our children for today and tomorrow's highly technological environments. Ghanaian schools have been participating in international robotics competition and doing quite well. We can only consolidate our gains in partnership with the United States of America. Women empowerment, for which I know you stand for that. And I'm so happy to be part of today's ceremony. I love you so much, and we know that by the time you are done with this program, we are going to have a very beautiful program for our women, to have more women to participate in leadership positions. This year, we will be electing representatives to the General Assemblies of our local authorities in Ghana. In Ghana, we have 261 local authorities across our 16 administrative regions, and we have classified them as either metropolitan, municipal or district assemblies. Elections at the grassroots level are very familiar to you. Her Excellency, you have gone through the mill. We have a commitment to promote increased women participation and district level elections, increase women representation at the decision-making table. On behalf of people and women in Ghana, we would be grateful to you, your government, and team for any form of support that would help support women to present themselves to be heard and to be the voices for the marginalized and or voiceless in their communities. We believe that when women are involved in governance, we have goddesses who will protect the legal interest of all and push for the transformative development. Establishing sister cities for mutual economic benefits. Sustainable Development Goal 17 places emphasis on partnerships for development. That is true. We are not islands unto ourselves, and we cannot achieve much without holding hands. I'm aware that some cities or districts in Ghana have cities relationships with the USA, and we want to suggest that we look at constructive support. This partnership can develop new ones that will also facilitate utilization of the competitive advantages of each for mutual economic benefits. For example, the city of Cape Coast may establish a partnership with a city in the USA focused on tourism and education. And as we promote the diaspora agenda of the government of His Excellency the President Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo, we would also implement strategies that would facilitate positive connections, leading to transformative socioeconomic standards of our people.
Vice President Kamala Harris noted that her visit is a remarkable one aimed at building stronger partnership between the U.S. and Ghana, adding that history is something that should not be taken for granted, hence will take action on the request made.
Well, the first thing I will say is I will now officially appoint a liaison. The ambassador to Ghana, who is here with us, I have now appointed you, Madam Ambassador, to be an official liaison to His Highness and to this extraordinary group of global leaders, and then let us figure out the next steps. But I do appreciate the points that you have made. And there is an unmistakable tie and bond, and all relationships that are good relationships are founded on trust and consistency and reciprocity. And so I appreciate the points you have made, and we will follow up with your request. How could I deny a request from my host? I've been raised properly, you know. But it is my honor, and with my husband and our delegation, to be here. And I appreciate the accommodations and the effort that you have made to welcome us so warmly. I too believe that we must remember history for many reasons, especially in the face of, at times, those who would attempt to deny it. And we must teach it, but teach it also with an understanding that it should teach us not only about our past, but about our destiny and our future. That we must learn from it in a way that we make the ancestors proud and understand the broad shoulders upon which we stand. So I thank you for the spirit with which you have welcomed me and my husband and our delegation. I request your ability for me to see the lands that you oversee and to visit the place that you have not mentioned, but the place I will go next. And I must say that there is so much that you, Minister, and Your Highness have mentioned about Ghana and by extension the continent that gives me an incredible sense of optimism. And the work that you have done here in terms of prioritizing and having such success with education is something that in my own country of the United States and around the globe we know must be a greater priority for all of us. And that includes using that education as a way to help people around the globe understand the connections and the interconnections and the interdependence by extension. So I am honored to be here and to be with you, and I look forward, as you greeted me, to saying this will not be the last time we meet or speak. And again, thank you for the warm welcome, and to everyone, thank you for the welcome.